It's an ungodly early hour, which can only mean one thing. It's Couloir season. Today, the upper trailhead of Torreys Peak, going to be hiking / climbing Dead Dog Couloir and then snowboarding down the Y or tuning fork Couloir. For a full guide of this route, you can check the link in the description below. So nothing really to catch you up to speed. Just been hiking up the road here that is closed because of snow still. So about 3 miles from I-70 exit up to here. To start this route, you're just going to follow the standard Grays and Torreys Peak. The only slight exception is when you get to the base of the Couloir, just kind of be careful of Kelso Mountain, so to your right a bit, especially if you're coming here in the winter when avalanche is definitely more of a concern than the spring, where wet slides aren't going to start this early typically. Gonna wait for the sun to rise before shooting some more, but we'll see you guys at the base of the Couloir. After about a mile in, first view of the line right there. That's Kelso Ridge, Torreys Peak, Grays Peak. A good look at Lost Rat Couloir up Grays Peak as well. And yeah, the beautiful basin back here. Now that I have a little bit of light, I can tell you more about this line. So if you start at the upper trailhead, which will be likely after mid to end of May, this line should stay until mid-June if you're lucky, maybe later, depending on the year. But you'll have 6 miles round trip from the upper trailhead if you're just doing Dead Dog, or you'll have 12 down from the bottom. So with the route that I'm doing today, up Dead Dog, down Tuning Fork, it should be about 12. But because I'll be boarding hopefully most of that last I don't know, maybe 3 or 4. In terms of where to park, it's really kind of tough. You're not supposed to park along the road as of 2021. Some people do it, some people don't. But really, the main thing is don't block the road if you're gonna do it, and don't get stuck in the road. That's like a big no-no. Because if emergency vehicles are trying to get up here, it's just bad for that. Dead Dog Couloir is about 2,500 feet of climbing. It's pretty exposed as well. Definitely not an intro Couloir, especially because of how long the approach is. As with any Couloir, you want to make sure snow is stable and you check avalanche conditions and you know about avalanche conditions as well. Please don't just go do this because it looks cool. Hi. Okay, so right around 12:05, you're gonna take a right to get off the standard Grays trail. Kind of go down here and then start the climb. Apologies, this is a little shaky, but I wanted to show you scale. So right above my finger is a person. Right above my finger there. So like right there, 2 people. So this is a big climb. As you can see, a lot of debris in there, which for climbing is good. For anyone who's looking to board or ski this, not so much. Transitioned here, now starting Dead Dog. It's gonna start off pretty kind of mellow, I would say, and then definitely get steeper. This isn't super steep. It's like 35 to 45 degrees, I believe. Paired up with another hiker here. This is John. He's giving you perspective of Dead Dog. We're about, I don't know, maybe a quarter of the way up. Rounded the first corner here. You can see John up there for perspective. We're about 13.1, so another 1,000 feet to go. And yeah, snow is okay. Very much a debris mess in here. Not great skiing. There's a couple of guys down there working their way through this nasty stuff. And looking back into the base. Quickly talk about this Couloir Dead Dog. It's east facing, which means it's gonna warm up very quickly. It's only 7:30 and I'm noticing rock fall, small rock fall, and little rollers and stuff, so definitely got to keep it moving. It's pretty steep as you get towards the end of this first turn, and then you're gonna have a second turn that's even steeper to bring you up to Kelso Ridge. Here's a look up at this view before. You guys seem to like it, so there's the top. There's gonna be one more turn to the right, and then yeah, you top out. It's about 500 feet of climbing left. Looking down as well. Almost topped out here, about 200, 300 feet to go. Definitely really steep in this section, and yeah, the summit kind of right there. Looking down. Only decision today, left or right. Right is the true route. Left you can actually ski right off the summit, so I don't think people typically climb that. I think they typically go right to Kelso and then yeah, just join the ridge. The other thing I think I can kind of see is a little bit of a cornice there. That might be another reason as well. Looking back to the beautiful basin. So you came from there, and then down there is 70. Got some 13ers over here. Really cool. Topped out here, Kelso Ridge. Looks very inconspicuous with all the snow on it, and then looking down, dead dog there. Pretty good route overall. Definitely pushed it a little bit with timing. It was very warm as I was getting towards the top, but overall pretty cool line, very fun, and not super steep in any areas. If you are going to ski down, you can go tag the summit and then drop in over here or drop in here. It doesn't really matter. If you do drop in this way, be sure to come back here because there's some pretty big cliff faces in this area. I am going to go tag the summit of Torreys here, drop down to Y or Tuning Fork, which is the other side here. Summit of Torreys Peak for the third time, I believe, and yeah, really nice up here. One bummer, look down at Tuning Fork, and there's definitely gonna be a bit of a down climb. I'll show you that later. The other thing I'm gonna have to do is wait for a bit for the snow to soften up, unless I want to ride bulletproof snow, which I do not. So yeah, just gonna chill on the summit here, and I'll show you some views, but really happy with getting up Dead Dog and excited for another spring line in the books. Now I have to make it down safely, of course. From the summit of Torreys, you have a good look down at Tuning Fork here. So if the snow is good, you could really go all the way down here. Obviously it's not, so I'm gonna have to down climb a bit. To do that, take the ridge over and just kind of look for your best route into the fork itself. Go over to Grizzly, there's like this little bump here. I'm dropping in down here. As you can tell, I'm gonna have to down climb quite a bit, but it's just the nature of dealing with snow. So just gonna take my time on this loose, nasty shit and get to a point where I can put on the snowboard. Looking down to where I dropped from the ridge, I'm gonna transition right here, this nice little flat spot. Looks like from here on out I should be able to ride down. So here's another look at the other Y. It's just very melted out and not continuous, so this one is the best bet today. Transitioned here. Snow is probably gonna suck, but gotta get down. It's getting warm, so here goes nothing. fail video with Nick and I a while back. It's about where we turned around, so happy to make a full circuit of it finally. Firmer snow down here and a bunch of runoff. It's gonna be an ugly, ugly exit, just survival boarding to get out of here. Because of course, the bottom is the steepest part. Well, I can safely say that's the ugliest snowboard descent I've ever filmed. You can judge me all you want. The snow was not like these views. It was very bad. It was very bad. And it's weird because at the bottom where the steepest part, I was expecting it to be softer. Oh no, 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 no. To Ken Baby. As you can tell, very windy as well. Time to get off this mountain. As you finish tuning fork here, your main objective is to get to this road, Grizzly Gulch Road. There are so many different ways to do it. It depends on the conditions for you. I'll look back up at Y or tuning fork. So that's kind of the start, and then it forks up at the top there. Yeah, not an ideal descent by any means, but got down and safe in one piece, so that's always good. This is a look at Emperor Couloir, probably the better bet for me today. Way more snow, and then yeah, looking back over to Loveland Pass, Grizzly Peak D. I'm gonna continue out as far as I can, kind of through there, and your eventual goal is to go all the way out that way. No, fuck. Just fell in a hole right there. The ever-present reminder that what you see on social media is not reality, and spring objectives have really terrible endings usually. Listen, I'm not saying don't do this little circuit I've made here, but you're gonna have a choice. You either hit the snow up top too early and it'll be really bad, or you wait and have nicer snow up top and then have post hole hell down here. The problem for me is that I had shitty snow up top and post hole hell down here because it's so hot today. So really not ideal situation. Here I've just been post holing through this ski track. For all the split boarders out there, you can't go the same places skiers go, so don't just follow their tracks. Crossing I believe this is Grizzly Creek. If not, someone I'm sure will correct me. There's a nice little footbridge here. If there isn't a footbridge here, you're gonna probably have to cross either up or down. But luckily for me today, I'm good. Back at the car now. Feels like I haven't seen you all in a long time, because I haven't. I didn't really do any check-ins on that way out because it's just a sufferfest. Spring is when the snow starts melting and you're post holing. It doesn't matter what you have on, it's just brutal. Overall, this was about an 8-mile loop, parking at the road split. If you park down further, you could add about 2 miles, so 10-ish. Overall, Dead Dog Couloir, A+, really like that. Going down tuning fork, it was okay. There was a couple reasons I don't like it as much as some of the other lines I've done. Number one, you had to down climb quite a bit to get down to actual, you know, boardable snow. Number two, the hike out is just brutal. I've done it a couple times now and it's just never fun. That Grizzly Gulch Road is really awful. So, you know, if you're gonna do Torreys via Dead Dog, you know, go down Dead Dog, go down to the saddle of Grays, board ski that. There's just so many better options, I feel like, than going all the way doing this loop. I mean, it was cool to make a loop. That was kind of nice, I will admit. And not having to hike up the road again, nice. But overall, yeah, this is a one and done for me for sure. Gonna wrap up this video here of Torreys Peak Dead Dog Couloir, coming down Y or tuning fork Couloir. As always, everything I'm using today, gear, I'll link in the description below. You can help support the channel by shopping virtual Sherpa gear as well. For a full trail guide on this loop, tuning fork down, Dead Dog Couloir up on Torreys Peak, you can check the link below, which links to my website, thevirtualsherpa.com. As always, thank you very much for watching. I am exhausted, but I will see you guys on the next adventure.